This is my 2-month update for Project Pan, and I have quite a bit of progress to share with you today. We're going to be starting with my empties, and I'm going to be sharing some replacements that I have for those empties. And then I'm also going to be sharing some additions that I'm adding into Project Pan. Then we'll get into looking at some of the progress that I've made by weighing and measuring some of these products. And then I'll share some of my goals going into spring. So let's get right into it. So starting with all of my empties that were not a part of my Project Pan. So these are all the miscellaneous products that I finished in the past couple months. I'll just go through these super quickly, starting with the fun one. So this is the Clear Merit Brow Pomade, and I just finished this one yesterday. This one wasn't officially part of my Project Pan because it is one of my more favorite makeup products, so I wasn't trying to finish it quickly, and I was trying to save what little I had left for my friend's wedding. I was able to use it for her wedding, so then after that, I decided to just try to finish it. And now it is completely dry. I really love this product and I'm sad to see it go, but it's nice to get it out of my makeup collection and focus on some of the other products that I'm trying to finish for Project Pan. So then going forward, I'm going to be focusing on using this Kulfi eyebrow gel, and this one is a part of my Project Pan. And we'll get to the progress that I've made on this in a little bit. But for now, I finished this Merit one, and so I'm really happy about that. Next, I finished this Har Har Wonder SPF, and I really enjoyed this sunscreen. This was a good one, and my partner Stefan also really enjoyed this. We share the same sunscreen, so it's important that he also likes the sunscreen that I buy. So we both enjoyed this one, and I have since replaced it with a few other sunscreens. I've been testing some Korean sunscreens, and I'm going to be making a video on this coming up pretty soon. But I wanted to compare these and try them out. So I repurchased the Har Har Wonder that I finished up, and then I also got the 100% mineral one to try out so that I could compare the two. I also got this Beauty of Jocelyn Aqua Fresh SPF, as well as this Isatree Hyaluronic Acid Watery Sun Gel. So I've been testing all of these out, and look out for that video coming up soon if you want to see my reviews on all of these. I also used up multiple pimple patches. So these are from Hero Cosmetics, and these are the Micro Dart pimple patches. I always like to have these on hand, and I've been breaking out a lot in the past couple months, so I went through quite a few of these. I also used up a new razor blade for my razor, and then I finished this hand lotion that I got as a gift several years ago, and a little went a long way, so it took me several years to finish, but I finished this one up. I also finished this travel size of this Youth to the People Superfood Cleanser. And the way that they market this is that it's refillable. So it's in this nice glass packaging. But then while I was traveling with it recently, the lid broke. And it's not like I was even over tightening it or anything or using it aggressively. It just randomly broke, which was pretty frustrating for when I was traveling because then the product was leaking everywhere. I could have repurchased this one with my Sephora points, but I chose not to because the packaging feels cheap and low quality. So even though I liked this cleanser and it was good for traveling while it wasn't broken, I will not be repurchasing this one. I also finished one of these Cocokind Ceramide Barrier Serums, and this is one of my favorite products. I've used up so many of these. I've been using this consistently for probably the past 5 years, but I go through it so quickly that I was looking for a more affordable option, so I've since replaced this one with the Har Har Wonder Black Rice Probiotics Barrier Essence. And these two products are extremely similar. They're both a milky consistency. Maybe the Har Har Wonder is a little bit more runny, but they pretty much do the same thing. I can use them day and night, and they have a very skin-like finish while adding some hydration and just making my skin feel really calm. And both are also really good to wear under makeup. So I just really like the versatility of these products, but the price per ounce on the Har Har Wonder is much more affordable than the Cocokind, but both of these I would definitely recommend. And then I used up a body wash. This one is from Shea Moisture, and it's the African Black Soap Soothing Body Wash. And I have been using this one for probably going on 10 years at this point. This has been my go-to body wash because it had really gentle exfoliation while making my skin feel really soft and moisturized. I was going to repurchase it, and I was reading all the reviews on Amazon, and they were saying how they changed the formula and that the new formula is not the same as this old one. Plus they raised the price. So I decided not to repurchase this one after years of using it, and I've since replaced it with this Dove body wash. This one has been working well so far, but I don't love that it's Unilever. So let me know if you have any other recommendations for body washes, because I'm definitely willing to try one that isn't some huge corporation and that's also more sustainable. But so far, this one has been working well. And then I also finished one of these Heritage Store Rose Water and Glycerin facial mists. And this is another one of my favorite products that I've been using consistently for the past several years. I did repurchase it, and I like to spray this on my face right after I wash my face or right after I shower, and it just keeps my skin from getting really dry and tight feeling before I apply my other skincare products. So even though this isn't a totally necessary step in my skincare routine, it's one that I really enjoy and that I will continue to repurchase. And then finally, for empties that are not a part of my project pan, I finished up this Aveeno shave gel. And I know a lot of people don't think that shave gels are necessary, but for me, this is a very necessary product if I'm going to be shaving, because I am so prone to ingrown hairs and razor burn and all those kind of things. So this is definitely a necessity for me. And I like this one because it's fragrance free, it's really soothing, and it works really well. And this is another product that I share with Stefan. So he uses this to shave his face, and sharing products just helps reduce the clutter in our restroom. So this is another one that I repurchased. I also forgot to mention that I finished this O'Keeffe's SPF lip balm. And this is another one that Stefan and I both share, and we both really enjoyed it. It's not pushing up anymore, so I consider this one an empty. And when we purchased this one, it was part of a 3-pack, so I've already replaced it with a new one. I keep finding more products I forgot about, but this is another empty that was not a part of my project pan. And this is the Cocoa Kind eye cream, and I cut it open to get the last bit out. And there is about a week's worth more of stuff in here. So definitely cut open your products. There's always more in there. And I really like this product. It's really gentle to use around my eyes. And I've repurchased this one a couple times, but I will probably not repurchase it anytime soon because I'm just going to be using my regular facial moisturizer, and I don't think that eye cream is a totally necessary step, but I did really enjoy it. Okay, now moving on to my empties that were a part of my project pan. Most of this is skincare and some hair care, but I feel pretty good about getting this clutter out of my restroom. So the first empty that I have here is the Hair Story New Wash. And this was a conditioner that I was using for both co-washing and conditioning my hair. It is ridiculously expensive, and I will not be repurchasing this, even though I did enjoy it, but I don't think that it's anything too special, and the price of it is definitely not warranted. But this one is completely empty, and I will be saving the packaging because I did have to buy the packaging separately, and it is nice quality aluminum. So I figure if I want to get any kind of refillable hair conditioner in the future, then I can just use this container for that. So I'm going to wash out this bottle and hold on to it, but this one is out of my shower. This conditioner I will be replacing with this one right here. I've never used this Shea Moisture conditioner, so I'm looking forward to trying it out. Another product that is out of my shower now is the Misc Bust Your Brass hair mask. And this one was a purple hair mask for when I had highlights in my hair. I don't have highlights anymore, but I continue to use this hair mask just as a deep conditioner. And I really enjoyed it, but I will not be repurchasing it in the future just because I don't have any highlights right now. And then the last product that I emptied out of my shower is this JVN Deep Moisture Mask. This was just a really small sample that I just need to commit to and finish. It was okay. It wasn't anything special. So again, I'm just glad to get this out of my shower. And then to replace my deep conditioners that I finished, I got this here for my birthday from Sephora. So this was the little free birthday gift. And this is an Amika shampoo and conditioner set. I haven't opened this yet, but it has a shampoo, a conditioner, and then a deep moisture mask. I'm looking forward to trying this repair mask as a replacement for this one because I did like this one so much. So I'm hoping this is just the non-purple version of this. And then there's also these shampoo and conditioners in here. So I'll try those out as well after I finish my other shampoo. I also finished these Zit Sticka Hyperfade Micro Dart patches. There were only a couple of these left, so again, it only took me a couple days to finish, but for some reason I needed a project pan in order to actually commit to finishing them, but I did it. I would not repurchase these because they're really expensive for what they are, and I would rather just have some kind of serum that I could use all over my face. I also finished one of these Lume deodorants, or Lume, I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't like this stuff. I've talked about it in other videos. I feel like finishing this one up though did give give me a good sense of how I feel about this product. I really hated it when I first tried it because even though it's unscented, it has a weird kind of acidic smell to it that I really don't like. And I don't know if I've just become nose blind to it, but it doesn't bother me as much anymore. Even though I still don't like it, it does seem to fade as the day goes on. And I've also learned that the less I apply of this, the better it works. So it works okay, but I still don't love it. And I'm just trying to get through this other one that I have because I bought a 2-pack of these. So this other one is still in my project pan. And then I finished this little hair detangler spray, and this was just a little travel size that I got from my hairstylist. But this is the Unite 7 Seconds Detangler Leave-In Conditioner. This product was okay. I honestly don't have any strong feelings about it. It wasn't great, but it also wasn't bad. I don't think it really did too much to my hair. I like to use this one most when I was refreshing my curls, just to kind of add a little bit of a conditioner into my hair, and I feel like that's how it worked best. But if I were just using this on its own, then it doesn't really do too much. So I'm glad that this one is out of my cabinet. And then I have these 2 body lotions. So these are the Honest fragrance-free face and body lotion. This is one of those products that I kept opening another one before I finished off the old one. And so I finally cut these open and depotted them into another container. And I made a short of me doing that, so go check that one out. But these 2 lotions that I otherwise would have called empty and thrown away still had this much product left. There was still a ton of lotion inside those, and this will still probably last me a while, so I'm going to include it in my project pan to make sure that I finish it up. Some other products that I depotted are these sunscreens right here. And these are the Neutrogena Clear Face SPF 50 sunscreen. So I had 5 of these that, again, I just kept reopening other ones before I cut open and finished the old one. So I had been collecting these over the past few years, and I finally depotted them. So what was left in those, I now put in this little jar. And I know that when you depot sunscreens, it can lose the efficiency of the sunscreen. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing this, and I'm not going to rely on this sunscreen as my main sun protection, but my plan is to use this just when I'm going on a quick walk and I want some sunscreen on my hands and my arms when I otherwise probably wouldn't wear sunscreen. So hopefully using this up will help get me in the habit of using sunscreens on my daily walk, because even though I use sunscreen on my face every day, I'm not so great at using it on my body. But there's quite a bit of this left. It is a full jar of sunscreen. Oh, I forgot another item. So I emptied this Ilia lip mask. There's just a tiny bit of this one left, so it didn't take me very long to finish, and I probably won't be repurchasing this one, but I did enjoy it. So total for my Project Pan Empties, I have 14 items. And then total, all my empties from the past 2 months, I have 29 empties. A lot of these were close to being done, so that's why I finished so many. Next, I want to share some additions. So I'm adding 5 products in to my project pan. First up, I have this face mask that I got as a free sample from one of my purchases. I'm just trying to get through all my face masks in general, so this one I'm adding to my project pan. Next, I'm adding this Merit Flush Balm in Beverly Hills. This one I wasn't including originally in my project pan because it's my favorite color and I'm already getting pretty close to using it up, but I was looking at the date that I ordered this, and this is from 2023. It is my oldest Flush Balm out of my 4 Merit Flush Balms, and I need to just finish it before it actually goes bad and starts causing irritation to my skin. You can see it's already looking pretty flat, so hopefully it won't take me too long to finish. And this one is also one of the lightest colors. It goes pretty quickly. I use quite a bit of it each time I use it. I also like to layer this on top of some of my other Flush Balms. So for example, I have this red one here, which is a little bit too bright and too red for me, but if I layer the Beverly Hills on top of the red one, then it kind of bridges the gap between my skin color and this bright red color. That's kind of how I've been using it, and I feel like I can use it up pretty quickly using it that way. but it's just really old and expired, so that's why I'm adding it to my project pan. And then these last 3 items here that I'm adding are also just very expired. So again, I wasn't going to add this Rare Beauty lip balm into my project pan originally because it is my favorite color out of the 3 Rare Beauty lip balms that I own. And this is a Nearly Mauve. This is my favorite color because it's really natural looking on me and perfect for everyday use. And it really goes with any makeup look that I'm doing. So that's why I've already used so much of this one. But when I was looking at the date that I bought this in February of 2022. So it is 3 years old, and I think these only last for a year. It's definitely way too expired to be using, but I have so little left, so I am committed to finishing this up. I actually added this into my project pan a couple weeks ago, and I've been using it every day since. And it's actually getting to the point now where I can't really reach what's at the bottom. So I did end up purchasing this little beauty spatula, and this seems kind of extra and not totally necessary, but I couldn't reach what's at the bottom, so I decided that I'm committing to this project pan and I want to use every last bit. So I figured today we could actually take the stopper out of this, which is something that I've never done. I've never taken a stopper out of a makeup product, so I'm not sure how this is going to go today, but I want to take the stopper out and just scrape what's at the bottom and bring it closer to the top so that I can reach it and finish every last bit of this product. So let's do that right now. Whew, got it. I'm just going to leave the stopper out and hopefully that won't cause any issues, but I'm so close to finishing this. I kind of just want to add that to my lips right now. There we go, my lips were feeling a little dry, now they feel better. Okay, let's see if this fits. Yay, okay, it fits, that's good. I was worried about that. There's still quite a bit of product at the bottom of this. Let's see if I can pull it to the top. Don't want to waste any product. Okay, there we go. I think that worked. The lid is a little loose on it right now without the stopper, but hopefully that'll be fine. I'm hoping to finish this up in the next couple weeks because there's really not a lot of product left at all. But I definitely think the beauty spatula helped to get what was at the bottom. It's such a thick product that even if I put it on its side for a long time, I don't think that would move. So hopefully this will help me get every last bit of it, and we'll see in my next project pan update how it goes. I also have this little mini version of another Rare Beauty lip balm. This one is in the color Nearly Neutral. This is another one where when I looked at my order history, I got this little sample back in 2022. So it is definitely very expired. This little sample is probably almost gone. It looks like maybe the sides of this are painted, so it's hard to tell how much is left. And I definitely don't think I can fit my beauty spatula in this one, so I'm just going to try to use up as much as I can of this. But I found this at the bottom of my purse, and I decided to add it to my project pan because I just need to use it up. And then finally, the last thing that I'm adding to my project pan is this Ilia eye primer. And this one I probably bought in 2021. It is so old. They don't even make this eye primer anymore. I think they discontinued it. That is how old it is. It makes me kind of nervous to use expired products on my eyes, but I've been using this one and it hasn't caused any issues. And it also doesn't smell weird or look weird. So I'm going to keep using it, but that's why I'm adding it to my project pan. I'm hoping I can just use it up as quickly as possible. But you can see it's starting to get kind of low, like I can see the sides of it, but definitely one that I need to finish this year. Otherwise, it's probably going in the trash. So those are my 5 additions to my project pan. All right, next we're going to be looking at the progress of all my other project pan products. So I have my scale here, and then I also have my paper where I marked the height of some of the other products. I'll start with the fun stuff, which is my makeup. First, I have this Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. And this is a product that I've been using every single night. So that's what it's looking like now. I've been focusing on this one spot inside there, and every single night I think that I'm going to hit the bottom of this and every single night I do not hit the bottom. So this stuff lasts so long. A little really goes a long way, and I'm starting to see the light through this spot a lot, so I'm hoping that means that I'm going to hit the bottom really soon. So let's weigh it. So at the start of my project pan 2 months ago, this product weighed 52 grams, and then today it weighs 51 grams. So it only lost 1 gram, which doesn't seem like a lot. I feel like these weigh-ins are going to be really slow progress. I'm not in a total rush to use this up because I do really like it, but I am curious how much longer it'll take. Next, I have this CosRX Lip Sleep Mask, and this one I don't think I've used at all since my last Project Pan update. My plan was to finish up the Laneige before moving on to this one, so yeah, I didn't use this one at all. Next, I have this Kulfi Brow Gel, and this one I've been using quite a bit. It does seem to be drying up a little bit, so I think that I'm starting to get to the bottom of this. Especially since I finished the Merit one recently, this one hopefully will go a lot quicker. This one weighed 19 grams when I started, and now it still weighs 19 grams. Okay, so I don't think that the weight is really going to show much progress, but I use this one at least a dozen times, and like I said, it's starting to be used up. So I definitely made some progress even if the weight doesn't show it. Next, I have these Lisa Eldridge liquid eyeshadows. This one is in the color Angelica, and I've used this one at least a couple times. There's still quite a bit of product left in there, but this is definitely expired, so I need to really focus on trying to use it up this year. I also have the same eyeshadow, but in the color Bianca, and this one I've used maybe 3 or 4 times since I started my Project Pan. This one is a lot easier for me to wear on a daily basis, so that's kind of what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to just use it more casually. But again, I need to use this up this year, otherwise it's probably going in the trash. Next, I have this Kosas Wet Lip Oil in the color Unhooked. I've used this one probably 3 or 4 times since I started my Project Pan, and it weighed 30 grams at the start, and it weighs 31 grams now. Why does it weigh more? I don't know why it weighs more, but it does. That's not super satisfying. And this is another one that I really need to finish up this year, otherwise I need to throw it away. This one I've also only used a couple of times in the past couple months. My plan is to focus on it more this spring and summer because it is just a brighter, kind of more summery color to use. This one I bought in 2023, so again, it's very expired, but maybe not as expired as some of my other lip products, but definitely it still needs to be prioritized this year. Okay, next I'm going to do my Merit lip oils. These I have been actually focusing on, specifically this one right here, and this is in the color Mapleton. So something I did with all of my products after starting this Project Pan is I organized them in a way where the ones that I wanted to use up, I put towards the front of my cabinet. And this one I ended up leaving on my coffee table. So it's been one that I've been reaching for on a daily basis because it's right there, it's really easy to use, and I do just enjoy using it on the daily. This one has definitely visibly gone down. So in that original picture, I'd already been using it daily for a couple of weeks. I just forgot to take good pictures of some of these products at the start, and I think when I first started this product, it was right at the line of the T. And then in that picture is at the line of the I, and now it's at this line of the R. So it definitely has gone down quite a bit. I'm not sure if the weight will have changed at all though. So it was at 27 grams when I first started. Hey, it went down 1 gram. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I think now that I've made some decent progress on this one, I'm going to be focusing on this one instead because this one is even older. So this one will definitely be a focus for spring. And then next I have these 2 other Merit lip oils in the color Sangria and Taupe. I've used these a couple of times each probably, but as soon as I started my Project Pan, the weather started to get warmer, so I just haven't been reaching for these fall colors as much. I'll probably focus on these more once fall comes back around. And then my last few products I can both weigh and measure, so we can see if I have any visual progress with these. First up is this Merit Concealer Stick. I've probably only used this once since I started my Project Pan. This is a color that is a little too dark for me for winter, but now that the sun has been coming out, I'll probably be reaching for this one a lot more. So I'm hoping that this will really shrink come this summer. Otherwise, it's another one that's very expired and I'll probably just have to get rid of by the end of the year. Next, I have this Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in the color Strapless. And this one I've used a few times. I've been trying to focus on this one a little bit more. And this one is just a really good everyday shade for me. And I've actually been using it more so in the corner of my eyelids just to add some depth. And I like to use it with the color Bianca. I feel like this combination is really natural and is really easy for me to wear on a daily basis. So at the start, this one weighed 7 grams. And now it still weighs 7 grams. Let's see if there's any progress with it here. There is the tiniest bit of progress. So I'm going to mark it off. At least there's a little bit of progress. So there's the progress for that one. It's really small, but at least there's some. And I think this is definitely one that I can use up by the end of the year very easily, if not by the next Project Pan update. So definitely be on the lookout for this one. Okay, next I just have my blushes from Merit. I have these 3 here that were in my original Project Pan, and I'm not going to measure my Beverly Hills since I just added this one in a couple weeks ago. So I'll save the progress updates for my next Project Pan video. But these 3 here, I have been mainly focusing on the color Cheeky. So this is the one that I hope will have a little bit of progress today because this has been a really good spring color. And this is one where before this Project Pan, I never really reached for it because I always thought of it being too pink for me. But as I've been using it, it actually blends out really nicely and looks really natural on me. But if I use too much, then I do look very rosy. One day when I wore this, I think I put too much of it on, and Stefan made the comment to me that I looked very rosy today. So this is one that I just try not to over apply. This one weighed 24 grams at the start of my Project Pan, and today it weighs 23 grams. So, oh no, oh wait, I can't decide. I'm going to call that 23. I'm going to call that progress. And now I'm curious if I measure it, whether it's gone down at all. I feel like it's gone down the tiniest bit. I'm going to call that progress. I think that's pretty good. I've probably used this one about 10 times since my last Project Pan update, so not a ton, but enough to make a little bit of progress. Next I have the color Rouge, and this one I've used a handful of times, maybe like 4 times since my last Project Pan video. This is definitely more of a summer color for me, so I'll probably get a lot more use out of it this summer. And then finally, I have this one in the color Mood, and I've probably only used this one once since I started Project Pan. And that's just because, again, the weather warmed up and I'm not reaching for these dark fall colors anymore. I'll definitely be focusing on it more in fall, but for now, I don't really plan on seeing a lot of progress. I just have a couple more makeup products here. So I have these 2 Ilia lip balms, and these are in the colors Lady and Wanderlust. I have used both of these maybe a couple times since my last update. So Lady is this cranberry red color. This one again is a fall color, so that's why I haven't been reaching for it as much. And the color Wanderlust was also at 25 grams, and it's still at 25 grams. It's kind of going between 24 and 25. This one I do hope to focus more on this spring and summer because it is a brighter color. This is one of my oldest makeup products. I probably got this in 2021, so I just need to use it up because it is so expired. Otherwise, I'll probably have to throw it away by the end of this year. Okay, so that's all of my makeup. Next, I'm going to move on to hair care and skincare. Okay, I have a few items here for skincare. So I know I said it was a goal of mine to use up some of these face masks, and I still have yet to use one. But the reason for that is because I've been testing out a bunch of sunscreens, and my skin is sensitive, so I really only like to test out one new product at a time. I also didn't want to mess up my skin before my friend's wedding because I was a bridesmaid in her wedding, so I didn't want to test out things and then have my skin be aggravated. But now that the wedding's over, I'll probably be testing out more of this stuff and just being more aggressive with my Project Pan. So hopefully next time I do an update, all of these will be gone. That is the goal. These should not be that hard to use up. So let's start with something a little more satisfying because I feel like all of my progress has been really slow so far. I did warn you guys in my last video that I use products up really slowly, and I also rarely ever wear makeup. I probably wear a full face of makeup maybe once a week. So everything is just really slow going. That is just how I naturally use products, and I'm not trying to speed through this Project Pan. So sorry if this isn't more satisfying, but hopefully we will see more progress in my next update. So first I have this liquid exfoliant from Paula's Choice. This is a product that I've been focusing on, but I can't use this quickly. I can only use this maybe once a week. Otherwise my skin barrier will get irritated. So I've used this a handful of times since my last update, and there's barely any of this left. I would guess that the product is probably about right here. So it is so close to being done, and I probably only have a few more uses left. So at the start of my project pan, this one weighed 63 grams. And now it's 53 grams. Oh my gosh, that is the biggest progress I've seen so far. I'm really happy with that because I have been using this quite a bit. So definitely by my next update, this one will probably be gone. Next, I have this Bioma Jelly Cleanser. This is another one that I don't love, so I've just been using it to clean my ears in the shower. So it's been really slow going, but I have been using it multiple times a week. So at the start, this one was 172 grams, and now it is 148. 149, 148. It keeps moving. I'm going to call that 148. That is minus 24 grams. So that again is another satisfying progress made. And hopefully this one will be gone by my next update. Next, I have this Cocokind Chia Bounce Mask, and this was something that I got for free with a purchase. It's okay, it's not my favorite. I've used it a couple of times since my last update, and it goes really quickly. It's so liquidy. I can definitely use this up in a couple more uses. It's probably right around here. This one had 50 grams at the start of my project pan, and today it has 38 grams. Okay, I'm feeling a lot better. My makeup was making me feel a little discouraged, but now I'm actually seeing some progress on some of this stuff. So that's satisfying to see. And this is another one that I will most likely finish by my next update. And then I have this Cocokind Sea Kale Clay Mask, and I've used this one maybe just once since my last video. Last time this weighed 58 grams, and today it weighs 53. So it's gone down 5 grams since I started Project Pan. And again, I can probably finish this one by my next update. Okay, and then last skincare product here that I have is this deodorant, which I already talked about, and I already finished up the other one that I had. So I just have this one left. And at the start, both products weighed 187 grams. And if I just weigh this one today, then it's down to 88. And if I add both of those in, then it's 120. But I'm just going to count it as 88 because that feels like more satisfying progress to look at. And I feel like I need some easy wins right now. Hopefully this one will be done by my next video. Okay, next I have my hair care products. So I'm going to start with one where I think there will be a decent amount of progress, and that's in my shampoo. This one I don't have any strong feelings about. That's why I'm just trying to finish it up. So last time it weighed 312 grams, and today it weighs 265. So I've used quite a bit of product. It's probably right about here right now, so I don't know whether I'll be able to finish it by my next update, but I do want to finish this soon so I can move on to a new shampoo. This is another product here that I've been focusing on, and it's the Innate Life Leave-In Conditioner. This one weighed 99 grams at the start of my project pan, and today it weighs 90 grams. So I've used up 9 grams of product. I feel like focusing on this product in recent weeks has given me a better understanding of how it works. So when I use it on wet hair, it does leave my hair feeling really soft. But when I use it on dry hair is when it makes my hair look really greasy and weighed down. So that's something I've learned from using this product through Project Pan. But hopefully it'll be finished up by my next update. I've also used this product a couple of times, and this is the Innate Life Herbal Hair Mask. I've been trying to get better at remembering to use a hair mask before I shower, but I have used this a couple of times, and it weighed 225 grams at the start, and now it weighs 203 grams. So I've used a decent amount of product. I've also been focusing on this Amika Heat Defense Serum. This one I've been using almost every time I style my hair, but I only use a couple of pumps, so a little goes a long way. And before I started my Project Pan, I was never reaching for this one because I always thought of it as being too silicone-y and hard to layer with my other hair products. But as I've been using it, I have realized that's actually not true. It is really silicone-y, but I think my hair really likes that. It makes my hair feel really smooth and shiny, and it's been layering really well with all my other hair products. So it's a lot more versatile than I thought it would be. And so that's been a nice little surprise from doing this Project Pan. This one weighed 156 grams at the start of my Project Pan, and today it's 151 grams. So I used up 5 grams of product. Next, I have this JVN Instant Recovery Serum, and this I will usually use as both a leave-in conditioner and as a heat protectant. But since I've been using the Misc as a heat protectant, I just haven't been reaching for this JVN as much. So I've probably only used it a couple of times since my last video, and last time it weighed 280 grams. And now it weighs 265. So I still used a decent amount of product. And that's what it's looking like now compared to what it looked like before. So definitely made a little bit of a dent in this. Part of my incentive of finishing this product is I want to use this jar for other things because it's a really nice jar. So hopefully I'll have a lot more progress on this by my next update. Next, I have the Misc Plus Size Volumizing Mousse, and this I've only used a couple of times since my last update. I just don't really love this product. And maybe the more I use it, the more I'll learn about it and learn how I like to use it. It adds a sort of grittiness to my hair that does add more volume, but then it just makes my hair look kind of dirty and dry. So I just don't love this product, and I'm finding it hard to use it. I might just end up decluttering it if I can't make it work for me. So again, I used this a couple of times since my last update, and it was at 256 grams before. And now it's at 253. So I've used up 3 grams of product. This is the Kenra Texturizing Cream, and I've used this one a couple of times since my last update. I do like this product. I like to use it for special occasions to add a little bit of texture and hold to my hair. It does have a really strong smell though. It smells very strongly of cherries, and it's not my favorite. I'm just smelling myself all day when I wear this. It's not a bad smell, it's just really strong. And a little goes a long way with this product. So last time it was at 194 grams, and today it's at 193, let's say. So not too bad, I guess. This Garnier Fructis Texturizing Pomade, I haven't used at all since my last update, so I don't think there will be any changes here. I won't even bother weighing it, but I do need to test it out to see how it compares to this one and see whether I even want to keep it. I don't think I've used this product at all since my last video. I just need to test it out. This is the Mika Power Hour Curl Refreshing Spray. I don't think I've used this one at all because I have been focusing on other products, but I do want to try to use up more of this one. And then finally, I have this Innersense Styling Foam. I don't think I've used this one at all, but I do need to just test it out to see how I feel about it. Otherwise, I just need to give it away. So really quickly, I want to pull the products that I want to focus on moving forward for spring. I'll start with makeup. I really want to focus on this eyeshadow. So I want to focus on that in combination with this Laura Mercier Caviar Stick. And hopefully I'll make good progress by my next update. I also really want to focus on these 2 blushes for spring. So this is Beverly Hills and Cheeky. Also my Laneige lip mask, I'll continue making progress on. Both of these I hope to finish up by my next update. I also want to focus on these 2 lip oils. Both of these are good spring colors. I also want to focus on this tinted lip balm from Ilia in the color Wanderlust. This Ilia eye primer I just need to use up because it's so old. And then I'll also add in this little sample size of this Rare Beauty lip balm because it is so close to being done and it is also really old. And then finally for makeup, I'm going to focus on using this Merit Concealer Stick this spring because my skin is starting to get a little more tan, so I think the color of this will work a lot better for me now. So there's all the makeup that I really want to focus on this spring. We will see how far I get by my next update. And hopefully multiple of these will be either gone or close to gone. And then as for skincare, I'm so close to finishing up this Paula's Choice exfoliant. So this definitely will be gone by my next update. Both of these Cocoa Kind face masks also will hopefully be gone. And then I plan on finishing this deodorant, and I want to make good progress in these face masks. Also, this cleanser will hopefully be gone by my next update or really close to being done. I'm also going to continue to work on these 2 products that I depotted. And then for hair care, I'm going to continue to focus on this leave-in conditioner because I'm so close to being done. Hopefully next time this will be finished. I also want to make good progress on this hair mask and good progress on my shampoo. Also continue to use this heat defense serum. And then these are products I want to continue testing to see how I feel about them. So those are my focuses going into spring. I don't really look very focused because this is most of the items in my project pan, but hopefully a good number of these will be finished up by my next update. Fingers crossed, that is my goal. But definitely some of this makeup will be good to use for spring, so I'm looking forward to that. And I'm just looking forward to getting rid of a lot of this clutter. Okay, so here is everything that is left in my project pan. So I'm just going to count these really quick and give you my final numbers. Okay, so at the start of my project pan back in March, I had 59 items in my project pan. Since then, I've finished 12 products. I've also added in 5 new products, bringing my grand total number of products in my project pan to 48 items. So I've reduced my number of items by 11 in the past 2 months. I feel really good about that. It's not major progress, but it's enough progress where I am getting rid of clutter, and that feels really good. Again, I'm trying to reduce the number of products in my life, and I'm trying not to bring more into my collection. I really just want the bare minimum basic necessities. I feel like the more stuff I have, the more kind of stress it adds to my life, and the more mental energy it takes. So I can't wait until all my products are really minimal and just what I need. Thank you for watching, and if you're doing a project pan, let me know how you're doing. Are there any categories that you find really hard to use up? Because for me, it's makeup, but I definitely have made a lot of progress with skincare and hair care. We'll see how it goes during my next update, so if you want to see that, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!